Hey everybody, hi boys and girls, and all the ships at sea. It's Gary Lucas here, coming to you live from Maastricht in southern Holland. What a beautiful town this is. It's really, I've played 30, 40 different cities and small towns in Holland, I would say, in my career, and this is one of the most beautiful, if not the most beautiful. Just was at a very interesting goth store called Bizarre here today. I don't even think a store such as this exists in Manhattan, but maybe I'll post some pictures maybe later. Very, very interesting place, and I want to say my friend Helene Adam, who comes from Maastricht, give her a big shout out because she told me like how cool this place was, and it hasn't disappointed. I'm really enjoying working here. I'm in the home stretch of making this record with Peter Willems, very cool young acoustic bass player, more or less on the jazz tip, but we kind of intersect. I mean, he brought a lot of his jazz ideas to the table, and I brought my own peculiar notions of what music might constitute. So I think the twain met, and anyway, I'm really excited about this record. But let's get right down to it. I've been getting spammed so much with spam-likely phone calls from, I don't know, Chinese immigration fixers and various grifters here and there. Could be maybe part of the Trump crime family. I don't know. What do you think? I'm certainly an active poster against their nefarious criminal activities, and actually, I'm praying that Biden brings it home the bacon. It gets us over the finish line. It's a squeaker, I know. Certainly an enervating experience to live through, but especially from a vantage point here in Holland. Because Europeans in general, but Dutch people in particular, are aghast at the divisions in our once proud, formerly great nation. The fact that the margin right now is so close in this glacial count of the votes is certainly dispiriting. I know I spoke with Caroline earlier yesterday after she got up, and I'd been up watching the elections, and she was pretty bummed, even with victory in sight for Biden, at how close or let's say how opposed the green and the blue and the green, all of the colors are in our color war of a nation. So okay, but pick up my guitar and play just like yesterday. right before the program today, I posted this great old clip of Alice Cooper and his song Elected, which I believe I have the picture sleeve single of, which I acquired at Cutler's Records in New Haven back in about 1973. And it's a redo of an earlier Alice Cooper song called Reflected, I think from the Pretties for You album that came out on Frank Zappa's Bizarre label. But I think Alice is really an interesting guy. And I actually did share a stage with him in Hollywood at the Pantages Theater, about 10 years ago, when Chris Cornell was the recipient of the MusiCares Award, which was an award given, I think, through the Grammy Foundation. And every year they make another leading light in music the main recipient. I think Bob Dylan had a very good appearance a couple of years ago that I stayed up for with an interesting speech lambasting all sorts of people from his past that he still bore grudges against. I understand the feeling. Anyway, so I did talk to Alice a bit backstage, and he's kind of a devilish person in the flesh. I saw him play also at the Zappanale. He was like the big cheese there at this Frank Zappa festival in Bad Dobran, which I played at, I think, 3 times. Hopefully I'll be playing there again, maybe with Code de Kloot, my old Dutch producer, DJ pal here. And anyway, Alice saw me approaching. I don't know if he spotted me for a left liberal, radical, or whatever you want to designate me, but he very loudly mimed getting on the phone, and he said, "We're calling in airstrikes on Baghdad in 30 seconds. So take that for what you will. Maybe that's an example of his fiendish sense of humor, but he actually in this period went public and said he didn't think it was the role of artists to comment on political situations or take sides, which I would retort pshaw to, vehemently, because I think what better platform can an artist wield if they have followers and people who look up to them to try and, share their opinions. You can take them or leave them. It is a free country, of course. But I'm often interested in what makes, people I admire, musicians particularly, tick. And I know we come in all shades of flavors and all over the political spectrum here, but it's been my experience that most of the artists that I look up to, such as a Frank Zappa or a Captain Beefheart, were very, very pronounced leftists, mainly in their opinions about the way our democracy works, so-called democracy, and the function of government and citizens within that construct. So anyway, I hope Alice is getting the results that he craves so much with this election. I don't know. But he did, pal around with a lot of people who were not considered exactly kosher or PC on the political spectrum back in the day. But who am I to deny anyone's prerogative? Certainly not to play golf with anybody. So Okay, a little Spanish Dracula music for you, interpolating the theme from Swan Lake. Now, I just discovered how idiotic of me, but there you go, that the performance of Spanish Dracula, which went out Saturday night, is available for your viewing pleasure on the So What's Next Festival Facebook webpage. So you should hurry on over to that once I get done here today and check it out if you missed it. I'm glad that it's living somewhere online. And then you can also see my performance that went out live from the Eindhoven Muziekgebouw Friday night with a young Dutch acoustic bass virtuoso and singer Peter Willems, which will give you a taste of what's in store with our new album, which is a total duo enterprise with a little bit of overdubbing, maybe. I mean, yeah, kind of. But we did a half an hour set, and I think it came out pretty darn well, as they say. So anyway, it's So What's Next Festival. So what's next? And while you're at it, give a gift. I think I told the story before, but it bears repeating. Many years ago, when I worked in the marketing division of CBS Records, toiling in the vineyard, slaving over a hot IBM Selectric for 13 long years, I mean, interspersed only with my Captain Beefheart experience, which was, I mean, the saving grace of that job, because they pretty much let me alone to do what I wanted behind closed doors of my office in Black Rock. While I was there, there was a contest from the NAMM Association. I guess it's the National Association of Musical Instruments. They have a NAMM show in any case. I've been there, thanks to my my nephew, Max Green, who arranged this a couple of years ago in LA. They had a contest for various record companies to come up with a new Christmas marketing slogan, or should I say holiday slogan, Hanukkah being right around the corner of Christmas. And I don't know if they were talking about the Festival of Eid back then, but I don't think so, but they should. Anyway, so at this wingding, the head of my division, a guy named Arnold Levine, who I want to give a shout out to, I hope he's doing well wherever he is, he recounted the story about how one of the jobbers, one of the main guys, suppliers in the music biz as it was then constituted, came forward with a presentation to wow everybody with a new slogan. And I guess he was like a member of the tribe, as they say, because he got up there and he said, okay, I have come up with a new void. I invented a word, and we're gonna basically emblazon this slogan on everybody's brain with a big rollout of a marketing campaign with retail outlets that were then current, like Strawberries, who had an interesting history you can check out. And it will have banners galore and point of purchase items, big posters. And the word that I've invented is "gived." And he held up a sign, "Gived," G-I-V-F-T. And people just drew a blank and said, what? What the fuck? What are you talking about? And he went, it means give a gift. Gived. He shoved this in everybody's face. I don't think it made the cut, actually, for the selection at this meeting. But, it's like one of those stories I can always cheer myself up recounting some of the more lunatic or idiotic moments I lived through when I was working for that company, a great old company, venerable, and one of the three left standing of the majors. How about that? There were 7, I believe, 7 or 8 when I started working for this big global music Moloch, CBS Records. And now, then there were 3 majors who have increasing irrelevance daily as far as being able to ram product down people's throats. But hey, we live in a so-called democracy, so, good luck to all you guys out there trying to do this for a living. I've lived to tell the tale. At least so far, it's been, what a long, strange trip it's been, hasn't it? But I'm working hard on a new phase of my memoirs. So hopefully I'll be able to recount some of these tales for you, not just here off the cuff style. Okay, let's see now. What do we got left? Okay, all right, so I have one more item to flag here. And please, by the way, give a gift. Give. The PayPal link is there. I don't believe in such a thing as no sell. All right, so this is Around the World in 30 days, 80 days. This is Gary Lucas, Cine Fantastique. What a beautiful cover it is, which is a gloss on the Vertigo artwork by Saul Bass. I have a Facebook friend, my friend Lance, who I believe is related to Saul. Maybe it was an uncle, but he'll tell you. Anyway, I love Saul Bass's graphic work and his titles, and particularly Vertigo is one of the most magnificent title sequences in the history of cinema. And so let's see what's on this baby. It got excellent reviews when it came out, pretty much across the board, all my records. And it's on the Northern Spy label. Mon Oncle, music by Frank Barsolini from the great film by French comedian Jacques Tati, one of the icons of contemporary French cinema and world humorous cinema. Monsieur Hulot's Holiday, music by Alain Roman. Burt Bacharach's theme from Casino Royale, I played that on the show. Also, Burt's theme from The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, as essayed by the great Gene Pitney, a record I adore that I grew up with. Bali High from South Pacific, music by Richard Rodgers. Jacques, my own score that I did in conjunction with a young Dutch composer, Riza Namovar, for the Holland Festival at the Stadschouwburg in Amsterdam, about 6, 7, 8 years ago. The music that was mysteriously erased from YouTube by the Eye Museum. I won't go into that here again. Satin Tango, music by Mihai Vij, who is a friend. It's music from the great 7-hour movie by Bela Tarr. I thought that was kind of a gimmick myself, 7 hours. I wouldn't sit through, well, I have, but I wouldn't again sit through Parsifal, for instance, was about 8 hours at the Met Opera, Wagner's Parsifal. But I would definitely sit through Satin Tango again. It's a great film, as are all Bela Tarr's films. Our Love Is Here to Stay. I've done that here. Music by George Gershwin. Bernard Herrmann's Vertigo Psycho music. A medley from the Jesseon Festival in South Korea, recorded live there, of Fellini's music from Casanova by the great Nino Rota, segueing into the Lullaby from Rosemary's Baby by Krzysztof Komeda, a great Polish film composer, one of Roman Polanski's main men there in the music department for many a year. Some Spanish Dracula music recorded live at the New York Film Festival in Lincoln Center, where I played in 2010. Music by Florian Frick of Popol Vuh, one of my favorite groups of all time, from the film Aguirre, The Wrath of God, or Der Zorn Gottes. How about that? John Zorn took his own name from a film, or maybe it was vice versa. No, it's just the German word for wrath, Zorn. And Sex and Lucia, music by Alberto Iglesias, who I did meet playing at the Sevilla Film Festival. A wonderful composer, and this is a wonderful film. Check it out. Howdy Doody Time, which is basically Tarara Bundier, from the children's show from the 50s I grew up with. Music for the film Entr'acte by René Clair, I composed as part of my Sounds of the Surreal project, which I debuted at the Film Society of Lincoln Center. Vince Guaraldi's theme from Charlie Brown, which I also, you all know this Peanuts music. And then lastly, Around the World in 80 Days, music by Victor Young. It's called Gary Lucas Cine Fantastique. That was also the name of a great magazine devoted to fantasy and science fiction, but I thought it would be appropriate for my album title, so as you can't copyright a title, bear that in mind, young kids here. I mean, didn't U2 do a song called Grace? Yeah, I think they did, the Sly Devil stuff. Okay, well, I'll see you again on Saturday. I'm finishing up this record, at least I hope so, my part, tomorrow, and then I'll be back Wednesday. But in the meantime, I'm looking forward to playing for you guys again. I'd love to do this, and I really appreciate your support. And keep those cards and letters coming in, folks. All right, big hugs and kisses, and I'll see you on the other side eventually, won't I? All right, see you then.